Have you ever noticed how one sentence, one comment, or even one ignored message can ruin your entire day? Someone speaks harshly, and suddenly your peace disappears. But what if the real power was never in their words, but in your reaction? This is the story of a man who believed the world was against him until he discovered a truth that changed his life forever. Maybe in his story, you'll find a reflection of your own. The man who learned to keep his peace. In a small town near the Blue Mountains of southern Europe, there lived a man named Ethan. Ethan was known for many things, but patience was not one of them. If his coffee was cold, he complained. If traffic slowed him down, he shouted inside his car. If his colleagues made a small mistake, his temper exploded. People often said, "Careful around Ethan. He gets angry fast." At home, his wife Elena watched him with quiet concern. One evening, she said gently, "Ethan, why do you let every small thing disturb you?" Ethan replied sharply, "Because people are careless. If they act wrong, they deserve my anger." What Ethan didn't realize was that every outburst was stealing his own peace. A meeting that changed everything. One autumn morning, a traveling philosopher named Marcus arrived in the town. He didn't speak loudly or attract attention. He simply sat in the town square, calm and silent, as if nothing in the world could disturb him. People said, "Listening to him feels like your mind becomes lighter." Elena encouraged Ethan. "Go meet him. Maybe you'll find something useful." Ethan laughed. "What can a man who sits all day teach me about real life?" But that very day, a co-worker blamed Ethan for a mistake he didn't make. Ethan exploded. His voice echoed through the office. Later that night, alone in his room, he felt something strange. Not satisfaction, not relief, just exhaustion. He whispered to himself, "Why do I feel worse every time I lose my temper?" Unable to sleep, Ethan went to the town square at dawn. Marcus was already there, sitting quietly. Ethan said, "I get angry easily. People push my buttons, and I can't stop myself." Marcus looked at him calmly and asked, "When you get angry, who suffers the most?" Ethan thought for a moment. "I do." Marcus nodded. He placed a bowl of clear water in front of Ethan. "Look at your reflection." Ethan could see his face clearly. Then Marcus shook the bowl. "Now what do you see?" "Nothing clearly," Ethan replied. "That is your mind when you react," Marcus said. "The world shakes the water, but you don't have to keep it shaking." Ethan asked, "So, should I stay silent when people insult me?" Marcus smiled. "No. Just respond with awareness, not emotion. When someone throws mud at you, you can either catch it or step aside." Ethan began practicing. At first, it was difficult. His anger rose quickly, just like before, but now he paused. One day, a store owner tried to overcharge him. Ethan felt his blood boil, but he breathed deeply and said calmly, "I'll shop elsewhere." And he walked away. For the first time, Ethan felt something new. peace without victory. That night, he slept deeply. When insults lose their power. Weeks later, some men mocked him in public. "Look, the angry man has become a saint." Ethan felt the old fire return, but he remembered Marcus's words, "When you react, you give your power away." He smiled and said, "You're right. I'm learning." One man asked, confused, "How can you stay calm when we insult you?" Ethan replied softly, "If someone offers you poison, you don't have to drink it." Silence followed. Ethan walked away, lighter than ever. A life transformed. Over time, people noticed the change. Ethan spoke less, smiled more, and listened deeply. When others lost control, they came to him for advice. Years later, Ethan met Marcus again and said, "I learned something important. People never controlled my anger. My reactions did." Marcus smiled. Life will always test you, but every calm response makes you stronger. Ethan asked, "Will the tests ever stop?" Marcus laughed. When storms realize you no longer fear them, they move on. The message. Ethan became known as the calmest man in town. He often said, "Peace is not the absence of noise outside. It's the silence you create inside." And that is the truth. You cannot control people. You cannot control situations. But you can always control your reaction. Real strength is not shouting back. It is staying calm when the world tries to shake you. So next time someone tries to disturb your peace, remember, you don't have to catch the dirt. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs calm today. Because learning to respond, not react, is how life truly begins.